So, see what everyone says. A little poll, please answer it, everyone. How many outcomes are there? In other words, how large is the sample space? That's what I'm asking you. Okay? Remember, you're spinning a spinner, so it can land on either red or blue. You're also rolling a 6-sided die. Okay, so 4 people answered so far. Anyone else? Keep going. Okay, keep going. If you get it wrong, that's okay. But I want you to try, though. You're not going to learn until you try, okay? Please. Okay? It's okay to be wrong. Well, it's going to happen. That's what I should say. But that's how you grow as a student. You make mistakes, and you learn from your mistakes. That's okay. Let's see. So a bunch of people. Okay. It's okay. That's fine. Someone just wrote a message saying they think they're wrong, but they tried. That's okay. I want you to try. Okay? I'm not going to get upset. I'd be upset if you didn't try. Put it that way. I really want everyone to understand this. So, all right. So let's see. A bunch of people said 8. A bunch of people chose 9. A bunch of people chose 12. Okay. Let me stop this stuff. Okay. Well, from the spinner, okay. Let me see if they can see that. Wait, let me share the whiteboard I have. Okay. So the spinner, right? Okay. There were 2 choices, right? We had red or blue. Okay. So there were 2 choices there. Let me move this over again. Should be good. Okay. Now, from the die, 2 choices, we can get what? We can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So there are 6 choices. So you have 2 choices for red from the spinner, right? There are 6 choices from the die. By the counting principle, you multiply, right? What's the answer going to be? It's going to be 12. Okay. Just move this over. It's going to be 12. Again, you multiply. Now, if we were to list them all, I guess we could try. I guess I could list some of them. Okay? Yeah, let me just move the screen up a bit. I'm not going too fast. Okay? Well, I'm going to use R for red. And I'm going to list one of the numbers, right? Yeah, let me just move this over. There we go. So we have, here we go. We have R1. So that's if the spinner lands on red. And the die gives us a 1. We have R2. We have R3. Right? So red. So this is if the spinner lands on red. So we're listing all the outcomes where the spinner is red, okay? The die, right, can be any of the 6 numbers. So we have R1 for red, then the die rolling 1. R2 for the spinner, landing on red, and then the die is 2. And R3 for red, and then a 3. We have red 4, red 5, red 6. Okay? Then the other choice, the first one is blue, right? The other choice is blue. We have blue 1, blue, then 2, blue, then 3, get blue, then 4, blue, then 5, and blue, then 6. So we listed all the outcomes of that sample space. So we listed all the outcomes of the sample space. Again, as you can see, the R and the B came from the color of the spinner, okay? The numbers came from the die. So R1 would mean the spinner was red, landed on red, and you rolled a 1. R2 meant the spinner landed on red and you rolled a 2. And you keep going this way. I am listing them systematically, at least I'm trying to. I mean, you could use a tree to list them if you want. You could also do that. Does that make sense? Actually, no, let me do this. Do it this way. What I'm trying to show you, I really hope it does. I'm not going too fast. I should get back. Let me do this then. To be honest, I'm so afraid to ask this, but I feel like I have to. Because I really want to make sure everyone's understanding this. So, okay. And I really want to make sure everyone's learning this. So, I mean, I will post a worksheet with the answers to it as well. I actually got the worksheet from Kuta, K-U-T-A software. They have free worksheets on there. I figured it'd be good instead of me just lecturing the whole time, you know, to try out some examples. So, okay, good. Okay, what I want to do is get back to lecturing. Okay, so let me do that. Let me get back to the slides. That is. So, all right, let me see. Okay, so let's keep going now. So let's do another example, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do another example, okay? So let me see, my recording. Yes, I am. Good. Okay. So for this one, again, here's another example. I'm sure like on the internet, you know, when you go to a web page or set up an account, they usually want you to set up a password, right? You know, for security purposes. So let's suppose you have to set up a new 5-digit password. Okay, it's almost like what happens if you go to the bank and you make a new account, and usually what happens is, assuming you don't have an account there to begin with, you have to set up some kind of PIN, you know, which is a 4-digit number. I'm kind of modifying that a bit. So here we have a 5-digit password that we're making, and each digit can be one of these 5 numbers, any one of them, okay? The first question is, if we allow repetition, so you're allowed to use the same digit more than once, okay? If we allow repetition, the bank does or whatever, how many possible passwords are there? Well, notice that for each digit, right, it's a 5-digit password. Let me draw, maybe this will, oh, no, not highlight. There we go. So let's say you have 5 digits, right? And for each digit, Since we're allowing repetition, okay, we have 5 choices, right? Because we can use any of the digits. So for the first one, we have 5. Same thing for the second one, right? Same thing for the third, because we're allowing repetition. So all the digits could be 1, for instance. Okay? Like so. So for each digit, we have 5 choices. Notice also that order does matter. Because, it's a password, so they take order into account. So how many possible passwords are there? Or how many possible outcomes? Well, as I'm trying to show you here and here, there are 5 choices for the first task of choosing the first number. We have 5 choices for choosing the second number here. We have 5 choices for the third and so on. So that's why altogether we get 5 to the 5th, which is 3,125. So by the counting principle, or the basic counting rule, we can call it that, the same thing. We have 5 choices for each one. And so we just multiply. Remember, generally you just want to multiply, okay? Because you have 5 ways of completing the first task, choosing the first number. 5 ways of completing the second task, which is choosing the second number, and so on and so forth. Let me pause the recording because I'm running